Now this is going to be very interesting here. They got the fanny. Now they just have to think, where is this high loss going? Is it going in the EXP? Is it going in Rome? Because I can see going in the EXP to deal with Barats. And if that's the case, like your, your draft always has to change because of that, right? Because now you have to think, do they have to ban out counters for the fanny? Because we've seen a Saber before. At this point, I don't put it past Rune Eaters to put the Martis in EXP and get Saber in jungle. Let me just say that.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea either. You need somebody who disrupts and doesn't actually have to hold your retribution and has a flicker. Not the worst idea, but to get rid of the CC instead. SRG, as much as I said in game number 1 that they've done a little bit of research onto the Rune Eaters, maybe just not enough. Lilia, the follow-up ban for Rune Eaters.
I mean, like, how can you, right? There's really not a lot of information from Rune Eaters here. They ban out the CC. I just remembered one other hero that Rune Eaters could use. If they put the high loss in EXP, they can pick up a Badang. The Badang can catch this fanny.
Good ways to disrupt their opponents, make it real difficult to land those steel cables when you're getting displaced around, and not to mention that he's able to actually create terrain of his own, similarly to Grok, assuming that he can make it connect in the first place. Now, final ban here for SRG, it's going to be the Valentina. Rune Eaters, are they going to double down on getting rid of mid lane picks?
I would say the other mid pick, yeah, the Zushin. The Zushin should counter the draft quite heavily, so like in the ban there, I guess the Eudora is still there, but I don't think it's good against a pick like Martis where he has anti-CC. Maybe they just have to wait for the mid, right? And then pick up either the gold lane, which is, I think Clint or Brody is okay, because they need to win against Melissa.
I mean, sure, but at the same time, the big issue is whether or not, you know, they get hit by the glorious pathway, and then they can't really run away anymore. Cecilion and Carmilla as well from the side of the Rune Eaters. Okay, you want a team fight? We're down to team fight.
Bro, their drafts, man. I'm liking this team more and more. We've seen this in MSC or MWI, and it looked pretty good as well. We only seen it once, but still, it did perform pretty well. Now that I think about it, I think it is in MWI. And Gideon, I believe we even talked about this yesterday, right? This position 1 can change, and I'm waiting for someone to bring out the Sicilian Shada's manifestation.
Yeah, show us a manifestation. This is really, really interesting, because now they've got ways to kind of like engage, disengage if necessary with the Cursed Blood. They've got scaling on their side with Melissa and Cecilion. We get a Granger pick here for the side of SRG. Hopefully that's going to, you know, help out that laning phase just a little bit more. But even so, a pretty dangerous comp, right? I mean, Stormy's gonna get outranged. It's gonna get outranged by the bat impacts like 90% of the time. They somehow also have a 2-point and click stuns against Uni on the Fanny. So we're expecting Cram to try not only to win out his lane and manipulate those waves, but still be enough of a front line so that Yumes can just peel for Stormy on top of flickering forward. So a lot of different interactions that we have to keep in mind here.
But it's clear that they understand they need to win that gold lane, because the Claude is good as a scaling hero, but they understand going up against Rune Eaters, it's kind of like going up against Spirit. It's like going up against Aurora. You don't really have that time. You gotta scale up. Honestly, with this kind of teams, you need to scale up with a Sky Piercer. So that's where we see the Granger come in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rune Eaters going up against Selangor Red Giants, where Selangor Red Giants, now they're in the back foot here. Innocent even getting that killing spree just to make sure that he can actually survive his engages. So haven't seen Innocent use the Granger for a while, but this is going to be pretty interesting.
Sorry, he is running Impure Rage, not Killing Spree. That's the Assassin emblem. We're just too used to seeing it down to the side in reverse orders. It's fine. You know, our regular season will look exactly like that anyways. But now, as we see the game already being started here, same opener.
Yumes taking quite a bit of damage, but same can be saved by Zuki. Zuki now even using the Revitalize just to make sure that he stays alive. 4 members from each team here. King Verb taking a lot of damage. Uni goes in. Uni wants to get a kill. He's only level 2. Yumes secures the kill on King Verb. And now follow with Zuki. Selangor Red Giants able to get two main members of Rune Eaters. Now Tasha Humes even flickering forward, getting that stun double kill for Humes. SRG, they are a bit upset in this game.
Oh, they are very upset. Extremely, in a matter of fact, and that's why they went for this Kimmy, so they can actually contest for the early stages of the game, to know that, hey, Martis can actually close the distance without his abilities. So as long as we peel, as long as Stormy has his passive available, they will maintain priority throughout this game. So now pre-level 4 has been working out really nicely for the Selangor Red Giants, but at some point Stormy needs to go for a recall.
By the way, look at this. I just noticed Ulvin. Usually we see the Sicilian still go for the mage emblem, but he's going for the common emblem alongside with tenacity. So they're really okay with going the distance here. Quite interesting strat. Haven't seen a common emblem on Sicilian for quite a while.
I think it's just to maintain pressure, right? So that way he can clear the wave and then still kind of walk out of the lane and still have enough bat impacts to be useful in the fight. Okay, Glorious Pathway used super early here.
Yep, Zuki still get level 4. Oh, nice stun onto Ovid. Oh, and then there's a pause. Well, you know what? Good on our counterpart. Their stream just ended. Congratulations to Onyx getting win over Geeke. Clean 2-0. So Renmar as well as Wolf, have a good rest. Me and Gideon, we're here fighting on.
We gotta fight on, and it looks like, you know, the technical pause was called for a good reason. Gonna be able to fix that issue before we move anywhere further, especially since we're so close to the actual turtle fight itself. And there's gonna be moments in this game where it's gonna get a little awkward, but for now, at least, man, Sicilian Carmilla. It's one of those combinations that you don't see very often, and better yet for the Carmilla, most of the time, and especially when you're facing up against that Fanny, just the point and click stun is always going to be useful, but the fact that you can't really control her, as in, and what I mean by that is that she can just blow right past the Carmilla and get right on top of the Sicilian. They just need one more level of peel, and I think that's where the Martis comes in to guarantee that the Sicilian will be safe.
The thing is, if they're able to deal with the Fatty, looking at all the range that SRG has, they're all gonna be in bad impact range unless they're crazy enough just to flicker forward, get face to face with that Sicilian and try to blow him up. This is gonna be pretty interesting because I can definitely see this game going to 16-17 minutes. At that point, there's gonna be enough damage from the Sicilian that they can actually take down SRG. So SRG are on a clock here, and I think they really realize that. That's why they opt to fight that early. We'll see whether they can continue the pressure around that turtle, because one lost fight and all of a sudden everything looks super bad.
Yeah, but let's not forget that that's not the only win condition that they have, right? They still have Innocent, and he's eventually going to build that Sky Piercer. Once he does, I think they're going to put a lot more, you know, effort to make their way over to his side of the map to try and maybe get, you know, maybe get him some form of a lead, or better yet, by the time he gets to the Sky Piercer, maybe Turtle 2, they could be looking for fights that hand a couple of kills over to him, and you know, kind of give up on this laning phase, so that way they can kind of maintain pressure throughout the map. Because so far, it just feels like they're just consistently responding to the early game pressure that is expected out of Rune Eaters, and until they start to back off and respect the space that, you know, SRG give them, then that's when we're seeing SRG make the opposites. Oh my goodness.
The Traction Pulse used onto Olvin, forcing out the Purify. Humes taking quite a lot of damage here. He might get taken out by King Verb here. King Verb already securing that one, and now Uni goes in. Zuki looking quite low. Doesn't look like they're gonna get a kill just yet. Stormy secures the kill for that. Uni is super low now, no energy as well. It's gonna be out of the fight for a while. So now it's on Selangor Red Giants, Krem as well as Stormy to kind of like delay the turtle just a little bit.
Okay, looks like both sides are gonna back away from this turtle almost straight away. Unfortunately for Uni, can't really do much about this, but he is going to take the Lethal Wanderer. I'm curious if he's going to start walking into the purple buff and say, you know what, we don't actually need this first turtle. Let's keep on fighting. Look at Stormy, he's blowing away Tasik, has to force his way backwards, and now Detna's Welcome does connect, flickering backwards underneath the turret. Tasik ends up dying to the Fanny, and they finally get King Verb here, so 2 kills already, and Selangor Red Giants are still moving forward.
Yep, Breeze 14 doing quite a lot of damage alongside the Muddles. But now Hume's able to stop them out just a little bit. Ovin got taunted. Ovin's going to take some damage coming in from Innocent as well as Cram. But for now, Selangor Red Giants, they're happy with what they got. I'm pretty sure they want a little bit more kills, but the turtle is going to be the real important thing here. Selangor Red Giants, they're looking pretty good, but they need to get structures in, I would say, between 6 to 7 minutes. But Innocent now with the Sky Piercer, I would like to see Selangor Red Giants playing around him a little bit more, because I feel like Cram has solidly won his lane.
He has. He already gets the stun out. He's trying to bait out as many reactions from Rune Eaters, and he's going back to his purple. So that does mean that now the pathing is going to be headed towards that top side of the map. I'm surprised Cram decided to come join everybody else in the mid lane, but they want to clear this out as soon as possible and then quickly break up. They're double waving for the sake of Innocent.
Maybe it's also just to get a little bit more money on Cram as well, because oddly enough, in SRG, the one that gets the most gold, all on Hume's able to secure a catch here. Ovin is the first to go down. Sashtik try to get away. He has to be careful. He does not have a lot of energy yet. He has to get away. But as I was saying, crazy enough, in SRG, usually the one that gets the most amount of gold is actually Cram. So maybe it's just out of habit. It's like, oh, I need double wave, I need mid, thank you very much.
You know, just natural EXP habits here. But he's already got this 2-level lead on Zuki, because again, Zuki can't really run away once Stormy gets that passive up, and that slow, making it really, really difficult once he's already thrown out his stun. And most of the time, the stun is on Uni. It's landing, but the problem is there's nobody to really follow up on it.
Well, right now they find Zuki. Zuki's going to be difficult to take down though, but it looks like they still want to chip him down. King Verb doesn't look like he has quite a lot of ways to go in. And now Hume's even coming from the side, tries to get catch here. It looks like Rune Eaters, they're going on to Cram. Uni goes behind. King Verb secures the kill there. And Uni gets petrified. Oh my god, haven't seen that for a while. Innocent secures a kill onto King Verb. Still a positive trade for Selangor Red Giants. I didn't even realize there was a Petrify in this game.
Yeah, I thought it was for sure going to be the Flicker, but the Petrify does have its uses, able to cancel out abilities mid-animation, and there's no telegraph way to know, right? You just have to be right place, right time, press one button, and then you just can't really react to it. But overall, this has been a pretty good game for Selangor Red Giants. Not that the early game has been sort of fixed at this stage, but it's not the end of the world for the Rune Eaters. The current lead is 3,000 for, actually now turning into a 4,000 gold lead for SRG.
Yep, Risk 4T so far has been farming quite safe here. Humes is able to catch King Verb. Innocent secures the kill. Now Zuki uses the glorious pathway to stop Humes in his track. Humes is still healing up, and Stormy and Innocent are just shooting from afar. Good stun coming in from Stormy, and now Kremlin coming from the side, but all got gobbled up by Ovin using the second ability, catching him out. And when he goes in, he tries to get Zuki able to stun him out. For now, looks like all abilities have been used from Rune Eaters just to protect themselves.
Beautiful stuff coming out from SRG side. A little unlucky that Humes was still connected by the Cursed Blood, and Stormy just happened to get chipped by that impact, causing Humes to die. But even so, it's still a pretty big win for SRG. Their snowball continues, their 4K lead now being pressed into the enemy jungle. Purple buff gonna get stolen here.
Yep. You can see Krem just channeling the Daytona's Welcome just to get away. But I guess that's one of the good things about Barats. The Daytona's Welcome has a pretty short cooldown. It almost doesn't feel like an ult at this point.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. It's like good and bad. It's good if you're like Barats. It's bad if you don't like Barats. that's kind of like the same for everything, doesn't it?
It really is. That's really the truth of it all. But the majority of the lead actually is falling into the hands of Innocent. They're going back to their simple playstyle. And not to mention that even Cram developing a pretty good lead of his own, right? 1.3k and 1.2. This next fight is already here.
Yep. Humes already used the Raptor the Dryad for that catch. But he is able to get a Purify out of Ovin. And I think that's going to be good enough. Uni does have to be careful, though. He is in enemy territory, and they have quite abilities to stop him. For now, I like the double pressure that SRG is putting out. Uni is showing his face down bot, and then everyone else is up top.
They're looking for a T2 here. They're trying to break it as soon as possible, but the wave should be dealt with pretty easily as they're trying to just, you know, just put a little bit of chip damage, right? And even for Rune Eaters, they're making sure they're not wasting too much time by shoving out that mid lane as well. But with everything that has happened already, at least for Uni showing himself that many times, it allows SRG just the raw information. Hey, we don't have to worry about King Gaverb. Everybody else, as long as we don't get hit by a wombo combo of the Cursed Blood, we can actually contest with this purple buff once again during a choke point.
Sanguine Claw, full Krem in. Even the Cursed Blood hit onto Krem as well as Yumes. But look at that fat all coming in from Yumes. Killing spree for Innocent. Double kill. That's more stacks on the Sky Piercer. Triple kill. Uni gets one onto Riz 4T. Oben is all alone. I don't see him escaping this one. Give the kill over to Innocent. That's a monster kill. Innocent has 60 stacks of Sky Piercer.
Oof, the signature pick coming in from Innocent. He still remembers old metas and old counters to the Melissa. So far, so good. SRG 14-4, the current kill score, as they now developed this lead into a 5K, about to hit 6. I think they're also going to steal the orange buff with the help of Stormy. He's in a really good position. He's 1-0-11, and his damage is so relevant in these fights, especially when it starts piercing multiple targets.
Stormy as well as Innocent are sieging the mid. Zuki probably overstepped, almost gets taken down by Innocent there. For now, Rune Eaters, they know the game plan, and it's trying to delay as much as they can. That draft actually does not have a bad wave clear here. Both Oven as well as Riz 4T can theoretically clear the wave, but SRG having this barrage make it so that it's hard to clear the wave because he always has that threat to be like, I'm gonna eat you up, I'm gonna eat you up. You better watch out for me.
He's already thrown like a lot of abilities here, and if the minions could just get a little bit closer before the Lord gets in, but no, the siege, it's not good enough, especially when you got Melissa on the other hand, and that's also the Detonator's Welcome coming out from Cram as well. I don't know if they can do this anymore, but if they can get just one more Holy Shielding, that's still totally fine. There's still a T2 down by mid side, and Ulven finally getting the Divine Glaive.
Yeah, I feel like, oh, hold on, Trash and Pulse, just to push Zuki away. Honestly, that's still a very good push. Able to get basically everything. Getting two. Oh, hold on. Look at this Uni. Uni wants Ulven. Uni has to get away. He does not have any more energy left. Unable to get a kill. But as long as he doesn't die, that's still a victory. Selangor Red Giants, they are ahead and they're supposed to be ahead, but they don't have to force things out. They still have some wiggle room. But look at this. Tashtik trying to get Stormy. And now even the Raptor Dry catching Tashtik. Tashtik looks like he's gonna get taken down by Innocent. Innocent is godlike, and gobble up is Zuki. Prime takes a lot of damage, but two members got stunned up. A double and a triple. Innocent, he wants to go for more, but he has to be careful. Oven is already starting to hurt.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Innocent has got some crazy damage already. He's already finished the BOD. He's level 14, 11 minutes into this game. And Uni already looking to get a Queen's Wings for himself. I mean, the team has snowballed out of control a ridiculous amount. And now diving once again, they get Riz 4T.
Yep, that's good because now the main wave clear is done out of the fight. Now it's Ulven. If they get Ulven, they can honestly end the game at this point. The minions aren't looking that healthy, but I think it's going to be good enough. Stormy using the Purify out of the Sanguine Claws. If they're waiting for Lord, it's 35 seconds away, and they should be able to clear that out. And then Innocent with a fully stacked Sky Piercer, I think with the Lord, they can end it.
They should be able to. 20 seconds left on the clock, and I don't think Rune Eaters have much of an option but to sort of give this up. I mean, they could try and walk up, but at the same time, like you mentioned, the Detonator's Welcome is just too much of a threat to really deal with. And if Ulven, the main anchor of Rune Eaters, gets caught by Uni, it's a guaranteed death at that stage. He doesn't have much counterplay as well. I mean, sure, he could try and just pop his ult and then pray to God that he survives, but the raw damage and also the fact that he's running the Purify, he's just got no escape mechanic.
Well, 12 minutes in. Riz 4T is 3 items, and Innocent is full items. He hit full items at 12:30. So now I really feel like it's like, guys, I have nothing else to farm for, so let's just, I don't know, end the game and win the third one, and then we're gonna be good. But so far, I think Rune Eaters as well, they got a lot of information against SRG. They're like, okay, this is a pretty cool draft. Looks like not enough to deal when Innocent is on this Granger and Uni's on this Fanny.
Yeah, it has been tough. Oh, Carmilla, the flank looks good. Are they gonna go in now or just when the Lord's about to push in? Because again, they're not stuck as 5, unfortunately, and I think they might have spotted him out.
Yeah. The Lord marching in. The minions are actually looking pretty good. It's going to be delayed a bit, but still, there's a lot of healthy minions here. Lord coming in. Looks like SRG. They just want to get inhibitor up top. They don't want to force it with the Lord. Stormy is just trying to zone them away and then even getting the bottom inhibitor. Zuki has been eaten, flickers forward, stuns onto 2. Uni goes in, does not get a kill. Rapid drive used by Yumes. Tries to stun them up, but Yumes gets taken down by King Bird. King Bird now looking for a situation where he can grab them, but right now Innocent as well as trying. They have to be careful. Uni goes in, cannot get a kill. Tashnik survives. Selangor Red Giants unable to end it with that push.
They want at least another inhibitor here. I mean, King Verb, he's really low. They keep topping themselves. Oh, the damage! And they find another Sky Piercer stack here. Ulven explodes.
At this point, there's nothing else for Innocent to do, but now he replaces one of his items. I'm not so sure because the API is pretty wonky here. Retribution on the minion. I really don't know Innocent's item. It keeps on changing. But now they're trying to siege. Stormy and Innocent. They are being linked up by the muddles. Minions are coming in. Top, bottom, and mid. Innocent gets a kill on Zuki. Uni gets a kill onto Riz 40. This should be the end. Selangor Red Giants equal it up against Rune Eaters.
14-48 was the